As much as we love the Hard Rock Hotel here, and as much as they love Bare Knuckle, we have assembled our very first inaugural World Champion Summit before you all. Where, as you can see beside me and in front of me, some of the baddest men and women to ever grace planet Earth. This is what we're about here at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, the alien of combat sport. And may we rise above the night sky and rain down blows viciously on all our deniers. And announce here today that Bare Knuckle FC has no love for the big glove. So let's get going, Bare Knuckle. Let's go, Florida. And let's announce some incredible matchups, some shock signings, and the most lucrative tournament in all of combat sport, where we crown in an open weight the baddest man on the planet. And now to announce our next signing, Cuban Olympian, former UFC World Title challenger, Yoel, Soldier of God, Romero! Give us a little something, Yoel. What's the plan? What have we got planned? There, who we after? So I call upon the American public to back your American champions. I call upon the United Kingdom to back your UK champions.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense. We haven't seen Conor in the ring in a while, but I know he loves Bare Knuckle, and I'd love to face off against him anytime.
Yeah, you're welcome back, because I welcomed you back. October 11th is your date, and you'll dance for me, boy. You'll dance for the owner, and then we can talk. But your date is October 11th. Michael Perry, the return of Platinum. And we've got some hell of an announcement for an opponent for you. One of the baddest men to ever grace the Ultimate Fighting Championship, but it comes to Bare Knuckle, and he's gonna throw down with you in front of me for my viewing pleasure. And then I'll decide if you're worthy.
We're looking for the action.
Oh my God. Conor, listen, guys. I made a video sometime in October last year about Conor's promotional skills. And if by now you do not recognize the greatness that is Conor McGregor as a promoter Conor, then I don't know what to tell you. This press conference, BKFC's press conference, was one of the funniest press conferences I've ever seen. Well, at least to me, it was funny. It was so funny because this dude is an animal. Conor has to be, listen, Conor has to be on something. I want whatever Conor McGregor is having. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, if you catch my drift. Because there's just no way anybody can operate with that level of frequency or on that level of frequency sober. I'm yet to see a sober person who operates the way Conor does. Ridiculous, ridiculous. I was cracking the whole time. And there's a moment, and I'm probably not going to show that, but there's a moment in the clip where he rubs his nose, or in the press conference, there's a moment where he rubs his nose. You know, I mean, for those of you who do not know, if you're very familiar with, you know, the substances, if you're very familiar with that substance, it's hard to watch that video of Mr. McGregor and not think he's on that good stuff. Listen, I mean, it all makes sense. The amount of erratic behaviors and erratic events that have happened around Conor in the last 3 years, there is no way that man is clean. But it makes for good entertainment, and I love it. He just needs to make sure, you know, it doesn't go overboard and fuck with his family. I just hope he doesn't do that. But for the most part, hey, if it's going to make us get the best promotional material from him, I'm here for it. If it means Conor ain't going to fight, because I know we don't, Conor is not fighting anymore, guys. I'll be very, I'll be remiss to think that Conor would fight anymore, but at this point in time, I think we have a better chance of seeing John Jones back in the octagon than we do of Conor McGregor fighting anybody. Doesn't even matter who. Conor McGregor is not going to fight anybody anymore. And I think we need to we have made peace with that. I was about saying, I think we need to make peace with that. But I don't know how many casuals, how many fight fans, or how many technical fighters haven't made peace with that. Everybody's made peace with it. Dana White has made peace with it. The MMA media has made peace with it. I've made peace with it, and we will be fine. But I want to take a quick side note to acknowledge that Thiago Santos has moved over to Bare Knuckle. Yoel Romero, as you saw in the clip, also moved over to Bare Knuckle. That's going to be very interesting. Guys, do you know outside of Bare Knuckle, BKFC, no other fight promotion seems to be getting the whole formula right outside of the UFC and the ones in Asia, Rising, One Championship. Besides the UFC, Rising, and One Championship, the GFL didn't get it right. I don't think PFL's current structure is getting it right either. I don't see it. There was talk about Eagle FC. Remember Eagle FC? That's Khabib's fight promotion. What happened to Eagle FC? I don't hear much about it. What happened to Gamebred FC? That's Masvidal's fight promotion. I'm not really hearing about that. I know Ilia Topuria has WOW FC in Spain. Still new, so we'll see how that goes. But BKFC seems to be the one that knows how to get old talent from the UFC or fairly decent and big names, put them together and let them go at it in a format that can actually rival the UFC. And at the rate BKFC is going, it begs to the question, will BKFC surpass the UFC in the next 15 years? Considering the decline of the UFC and the rise of BKFC, because that's happening. The UFC is on the decline. The fights they've been putting out in the last year or so, it's on the decline. It might even be in the last 2 years. I don't know. But that excitement is beginning to diminish. But BKFC is slowly creeping up and soaring behind the UFC. And they have names like Conor attached to it. And with promotional work like that, that thing's gonna be big. Mr. TDC out. Peace.